Welcome to Fashion Neurosis, Alexachung.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell me what you're wearing today and why you chose these particular clothes?
Yeah, I'm wearing an outfit from Miuccia. Mrs. Prada is one of my favorite designers. And I love this particular look because it feels like it treads the balance between something almost perverse in the leather and the cutout keyhole. Then the colours are so joyful and fun. And I was thinking about the framing of this show, actually. And I was like, how do I want to look in that picture? Mm. And so I kind of dressed for the image more than the feeling, I think.
Yeah. And how about the shoes?
The shoes are like a patent leather high heel. And lately, or at least in the last couple of years, I've wanted to dress more sexy. Mm. So now I'm actively trying to look more womanly, more alluring. Something, as I say, it's sort of, to me, it's now funny to dress in a more kind of kinky way because I think I'm more associated with like dungarees and smock tops and a slightly more sexless, tomboyish vibe. So it's been amusing to me to like lean into a more grown-up, seductive thing.
Because the tight's very kind of classic sexual woman. The sheer...
Yeah, the smoky leg.
Yeah. It's very good, very Catherine Deneuve.
Mm.
It's interesting, that thing of getting more into your sexual side, the way you dress, getting older, especially being quite tomboyish, because I never really dress very sexily, but tomboy for me is very sexy.
I agree, yeah.
And you're a presenter, a model, a designer, a writer, and a photographer. Everything.
Don't know about photographer, but yeah, I enjoy it, yeah.
And you're the focus of many people's obsession. And I wondered how your introvert-extrovert barometer is.
That's interesting because I do think I'm quite shy sometimes. And even this morning I went to my local deli and I'm friends with the guy that runs it. And as he was talking, I tried to lean on a tree and then I missed the tree and sort of like cocked that up. And then I went bright red. And I was like, oh my God, still embarrassable.
Yeah.
But then presenting, because I started doing that so young, it was really important. I think good broadcast journalists are completely themselves. And that's why presenting and on-camera work is quite intimidating sometimes for actors who are used to a script or being completely themselves. I think the camera doesn't lie at all. So if you aren't entirely comfortable, it can just totally tell. She says, feeling slightly uncomfortable now. But yeah, presenting though meant that I became the most confident person in that aspect. But it did sort of start taking its toll. Definitely there was adrenaline that was suppressed on those more live TV moments. Because I hosted like a talk show for a while in the US, and that's so demanding and quite draining, dealing with other people's energy, and you don't want to get it wrong, and you need to kind of draw out the best, most entertaining stories. So you're kind of always there ready to catch the ball and kind of make it better. But clothes definitely I would utilize to like bolster my self-confidence and to make sure I felt the right way in the right environment. And my style evolved out of that, I think, because my first jobs on TV, I really needed to feel super comfortable and extra myself. And so I refused almost to dress up for the camera. And so I would wear jeans or jumpers or Mary Jane shoes and Peter Pan collars and things that I would naturally have on a Saturday morning anyway, rather than like dressing up for TV. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, instead of being more formal just because you're being on TV. And Zadie Smith said people here treat beauty as antithetical to intelligence. And I wonder, do you temper with what is clearly your intellectual agility and your cleverness?
I think I started out as a model, and I still kind of hold on to that as the baseline in a way, like in terms of something to kick against, because even though obviously I've got older and that's no longer as relevant, I was desperate for people to focus on what I was saying, and I was always trying to get the best joke in or whatever. And I feel like beauty can interrupt that. And so it became something to play with for sure. But that more tomboyish style, or kind of not doing yourself down, but refusing to amp up my looks and refusing to lean into beauty or elegance or glamour, was a kind of way to get people to take me more seriously, I guess.
Do you think people were threatened by your intelligence, and that they wanted you to just be beautiful, and that's quite kind of, I mean, it's quite sort of challenging when what you know is a good feature that you have that has to be sort of contained in a way. But
yeah, and I don't think I ever thought of myself as beautiful, because for sure modelling really knocks that out of you quite quickly, just in terms of, you know, you have a literal paycheck at the end of the month, which is a way to gauge how gorgeous you were. That, you know, it's kind of, and there always were other girls that I was modelling with who would book jobs for underwear or would book jobs for kind of, sexier things. And I was always booked for the sort of teen things. And I think that's also to do with having a personality and wanting to, that was people pleasy and wanting to have fun and joyful things. So I would be the one that was up for, you know, running in the lake or jumping on the trampoline. I was quite easy to work with in that way, but I wasn't getting the like sexier, demure, seductive roles. So I kind of came to associate myself with the other thing.
Also, fashion and modelling is so not about beauty half the time. It's about a look that someone wants.
But I think what was important as well to me was, after years of wearing whatever someone else's vision of me was, when I got a job on TV and could dress however I wanted, I relished it. It was there was such freedom in that. And I for sure didn't want to look like anyone else. I was like, my worst nightmare was following trends or looking like everyone. And at the time that I started on a show called Popworld, the kind of general trend was a lot more, it was like Hervé Leger bandage dresses and kind of Roland Mouret, and not to say that's not a great look, but I didn't see myself in that. And I sort of, the people that I was romanticizing and wanted to be like were like Jean Shrimpton or Julie Christie. Or I had this book called Five Girls by Sam Haskins, and I just thought, God, I fucking love the 60s. I just really missed the boat. And I want to be Anita Pallenberg, and I want to be Jane Birkin, and I want to, I just loved Patti Smith as well, like denim and flat shoes and this kind of, I just thought everyone in the early 2000s, I just didn't get the look. I just didn't understand it. Whereas as soon as I happened upon all these images of the past, I was like, fuck, yeah, that's it. They look so fucking cool because they're not trying too hard, but they also look really seductive and rock and roll and messy, and I don't know, it just seemed cooler.
Because you're a brilliant dresser and wearer of clothes, and when you get ready for a look, do you think about a character or a look?
Yeah, sometimes a character, definitely for more like fashion events, then I'll lean into a character, but day to day it comes from how I want to feel. And I always assemble my outfit in the shower. While I'm in the shower, I think about how I want to feel that day. or I think about how I am feeling that day, because some days I have more masculine days and other days I have more gentle days. Those are rarer, I'd say.
How come?
I don't know. I was kind of like, the other day I went to an event and I thought, I actually feel quite soft today and gentle, and I want to wear a kind of prairie dress and something really pretty and white, and I want to look like I'm in Picnic at Hanging Rock. Plus 20 years.
Look, yeah.
But I had to wear trainers because that was the job. So I wore a suit in the end because I was trying to figure out the proportions of these trainers and how to make them look good. So sometimes it's problem solving, and the job and the type of work that I do might mean I'm kind of obligated to wear a particular item, and then I'm building something around that to facilitate it. Whereas other times, you might buy an item and then get really excited about putting it on, and so retrofit something to make that work. I'll be like, oh my God, I really want to wear those shoes. So I'll wear
you don't
jeans
start your outfit always with something. Like, I start with a shoe.
Do
Partly
you?
Sort of that same thing of, how do I want to feel? I want to feel courageous, and a heel will help me have this kind of great line, internal line that makes me feel kind of intrepid.
But I think that's why I like Mrs. Prada's designs, because there's a beauty and there's a line to it, but there's also playing with assumptions. And I actually really like outfits that I find funny to myself, if you see what I mean. Like, I'm like, okay, they're going to expect me to be like this, so instead I'm going to dress against type because that's amusing to me.
Yeah.
But to break the rules, you have to know them first. So
at least your own ones.
At least your own ones, yeah. And so I think that's why it's funny to do cosplay as like a sexy adult woman, because in my mind it is cosplay. So I'm like, that's not necessarily how I feel, but it's like a wink.
Also, it's a good way to experiment, just sort of casually, because you have more kind of playful agency within that.
Exactly, and I think things should be playful, like clothes. I think fashion can seem intimidating to people outside of it in a way, even going into a shop just to look at things or whatever it might be, but actually clothes are what I like. I don't necessarily love fashion. I love actual individual items, and I'll become obsessed with like an Aran knit, and I'll be like, I've got to try and find the perfect Aran knit. Or, I mean, I spent a lifetime trying to find the perfect jeans still. But yeah, I think of fashion as just like storytelling and a passion for individual items.
Yeah. And do you remember...
That doesn't really make any sense, but...
No, it does, because I was going to ask you, do you remember the first time you found a piece of clothing that made you feel different? How old were you? Because it's part of this identity, really, isn't it? This thing represents what I could be somehow.
I think I always loved uniforms, actually, weirdly. Actually, I think it's the other way around. I think because I'm from a small village and that had its own look. Like, everyone was in barbers and whatever. And, my dad was Chinese and my mum's English. And already from the get-go, we were different. And I was different. And I definitely didn't see anyone on TV or in any kind of pop culture that I was consuming. I didn't see anyone that was like me at all. And it wasn't that I was uncomfortable with that at all. It was more that I was already different enough. So I think I really liked uniforms. I loved my school uniforms so much. And I loved my ballet outfits and horse riding outfits. And I loved all the gear, But then I also wasn't afraid to be different because I already was. So at school, I didn't ever want the same shoes as anyone else, which is obviously quite tricky because there's only so many options when it came to school shoes. So as soon as someone else had the same trainers for PE or something, I'd be like, oh no, I have to get different ones. And my mum would be like, no, you literally just got these. And I had a record bag, I remember, which I thought was really cool. that my brother had given me. And it had like this grass on it that I thought was like a plant or something, nature. And it was cannabis. And so everyone, all the older kids at school when I was 11 and rocked up with that, they were like, hey, cool bag, man. And I was like, thanks. But I thought it was like a...
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any good fashion dreams?
I don't really have any good fashion dreams. No. I can't...
You were a dreamer. You mentioned you had quite a lot of vivid dreams.
Oh. Yeah, I do have vivid dreams. I mean, I've had really intense dreams before. I don't want to sidetrack this other anecdote, but I dreamt about the tsunami for years.
Really?
And then I was in it. And it was where my dream completely met my reality. And it was really freaky.
You were there?
Yeah. I was in Thailand.
Wow, God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think either 19 or 20. I was really young and I was on holiday with my boyfriend for Christmas. And then, yeah, the sea kept going out every day, like further out. And I was like, it's so weird because the sea in the picture when I booked this place or I chose it was right up against our kind of the stilts of our cabin. But now it keeps being further away. And we just didn't know that was like a warning sign, basically. But the years preceding that, I'd always had this dream that I was stood on the edge of a cliff type thing or a hill, and I was with a man with a beard, and I looked back at something, and it was a huge wave coming in. And then I looked back at this man, and then I just woke up. Gosh. And when the tsunami happened, I ran away, and so did my boyfriend. We just ran to safety, and then we found each other at the top of this hill. And I looked at him, and then I looked at the sea, and it was coming in, and then I looked back at him, and then I just went, and I just started screaming.
God.
So I was like, fuck, this is the moment I wake up.
So terrifying.
Horrific. This is therapy.
You've described having complicated feelings about your body when you were modelling. And do you think hang-ups about our bodies are catalysts for how we reveal or hide our qualities?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was less straightforward than kind of, you know, obviously modelling in the olden days, you just simply had to be rail thin and really tall. Whereas now it's amazing that there's so much more diversity in that way. And that there is more of an emphasis on personality as well.
Yeah.
But for me, it was about like, you know, I'd go for a job in Japan and they'd be like, oh, your hips are too big, or, you know, a beauty job and they're like, your ears are too big, whatever. It was always, the feedback was always so clunky and like horrible. Whereas now I'm like really proud of myself. That's come with age.
Yeah.
And if anything, my boyfriend would say I sort of walk around being like, check me out.
It's great that, because I found that after I had a baby, I thought, oh my God, this body, it's fantastic. It produced that. It's really useful.
Yeah.
And my obsession with what was wrong with it started to diminish.
But that's also the magic of clothes. And if you're talking about concealing and uncovering, that tension is what makes getting dressed quite interesting. And I think a lot of my style and the clothes that I put together come from an understanding of proportion and the kind of way to flatter my particular shape, which is why I find prescriptive, like when people say, you know, give us advice on this or that in an interview or something, I can't give anyone advice on how to get dressed because mine is only suited to me and my physicality.
Yes, yeah.
And it also changes with trends, of course, whereas before I used to love the kind of Hedi Slimane, everything tight and tiny. And then, of course, fashion changed and everyone was exploring like larger silhouettes. And as someone with quite small shoulders, I really love the kind of oversized man coat thing. But again, it's always about playing with that tension between what's there and what's not.
I think that's a real talent, and you obviously have it because you do that so ingeniously. The way you play with your outfits, and they're so beautiful. You know, you're so good at it, and you're often described as an it girl, and it seems a very short word to describe how huge your repertoire is.
Repertoire is really funny. That's exactly right. Repertoire, because it is like a hammy cabaret.
No, not at all. You have so much scope, and you have a lot of accomplishments, and in your book, your writing, your musings, and your poetry, which I really liked. It was really good, and your references are always very witty and surprising, and wondered why you called it It.
I called it sort of as a joke, because we didn't know what to call it, and we kept referring to it as it. And then I was like, let's just call it It, because then it's a play on words as well, because was at the time sometimes called an it girl. Obviously there's a Stephen King film called It as well, which is a shame.
Also, apparently, I read that where the term came from in the 1920s was to describe someone of surprising magnetic qualities or something. And I thought, yeah,
that's cool.
You definitely have that.
I do think it's interesting work, because I always thought it girl, or when I think about it girls that I admire, it's, even though it seems to kind of demean them in a way, I think that's right. It's a conduit it's a way to explain someone that exists beyond the parameters of what we know about at that particular moment in time. And it's like they've surpassed this moment, or they're bringing something in that's beyond, from the beyond or something.
Because when I asked a writer friend of mine about you, and he said, she has this intelligence and she sees things. She's like a spy. She's keeping something under wraps. And I wondered what you are keeping hidden that you'd like to reveal more of.
Oh my God. I think once I did a shoot with Lucinda Chambers, and I said, what are we going to do for that shoot? And she said, you know what? I sort of see you as I'm going to make you like Charlie Chaplin. I want you to be like a sort of sad clown. And I was like, that is it. Like, I think actually I love humour and wit, and I really appreciate funny people. But I think sometimes people don't get is that humour only comes from also really understanding like sadness.
Yeah.
And I'm actually like a super nostalgic person. I'm sort of quite serious, but I think people don't really get that bit necessarily.
Yeah, because I was, you're very witty and funny, and I wondered if you used humour to deflect people getting close to you.
Oh, 100%, 1,000%. I can definitely put it in autopilot. That's just sort of not necessarily gags, but like I can really like prattle on. But for sure, yeah, I think Tom would say the person he knows isn't necessarily the one that other people consume.
Because it's like a self-consciousness. I watch you talking, and you're onto something, and then you suddenly throw it away. And I mean, it's always brilliantly done, but it's a sort of guardian against, like, I'm not going to show you anymore.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And when you were 21, you starred in this brilliant TV short form called Shoot Me. And it's so funny. And this young girl coming to London, starting a modelling career. And you're really good at acting and a natural comedian. And did you write that as well?
No, I didn't. And oh my God, I think you're the first person to have uncovered that ever.
It's genius, and also it seems so modern.
Yeah,
the shortness,
it's got a bit of a Fleabag vibe to it.
Yeah,
I did it. I auditioned for that, and I had no say in how it was written. It was like kind of, I think potentially, I don't want to, besmirch the character of whoever put it together, but I think it might have been a bit of an opportunity for these dudes to hang out with models. But it was kind of skewering the industry, and it was about a young girl who comes to London from the countryside who's tomboyish and becomes a model. And it had some quite funny cameos in it. Yasmin Le Bon's in it. And it was really fun to do. And I think at that time, it was so fun. I did a lot of TV adverts as well around then. And I just absolutely loved any moment that wasn't modelling. Anything that was more freeing and playful. And, actually after the tsunami thing, because I was quite unhappy at that time modelling. I didn't enjoy it at all. I decided to come home. I was like, God, life is so short and no one cares. No one's like keeping track of you or judging you or whatever. You can literally do whatever you want. And so I signed up for a lot of different classes. I did life drawing, and I did this Meisner class, which was like an acting technique. And that was really fun. But I remember the teacher being like, kind of what you're onto here, which is, he said, you're so interested in deflecting and entertaining the room rather than, really sitting in the moment and being able to do it. And then sort of a month later, I got Popworld and was on TV. But acting definitely appealed to me then. And it's increasingly something that I'm like, I wonder how that would go. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, watching those things really made me want to see what else you can do in serious roles, because you're very convincing. Watching, I wanted to believe in everything that you were showing.
So, by the way, guys, this is the shittest show of all time. So definitely don't.
It's so good. It's witty. It. What you were saying about being, people believing in your authenticity. It did work. That was very. You wanted to believe, and that's the power of your acting talent. Because great actors, you just want to believe everything, and it's so enjoyable to witness that.
But when I was much younger, I ended up auditioning because I was modelling, and I got asked to audition for this film called My Summer of Love that Pavel Pawlikowski directed.
Oh yes, yeah.
And it was all improv, and I was like in the last two, and it was with Natalie Press, and I had to do like a improvised scene with Paddy Considine about trying to seduce his vicar character or something. And I was really into it, and I didn't get it. And the person that got it was Emily Blunt.
Oh, God.
What happened to her?
Well, at least you were up against the best.
So funny.
And because you're good at outlandish skits as well, like Popworld. And
that's why I liked Popworld. It was a bit more like SNL or something. I was like, I'll do it, but I want to play characters.
Well, it reminded me of Monty Python and Connie Booth, who was so ravishing and seemingly oblivious of her charm. And did you look at those kind of skits for part of your inspiration at all?
I didn't, but I wish I had, actually. It might have been really helpful.
Oh, you got it.
But I think in Britain we were quite lucky, because growing up before the internet and before YouTube and whatever, TV was rich with all of these great kind of comedies in the UK. And I used to watch Blackadder and Monty Python and all of the things. They were kind of like appointment viewing. So I think Brits had that as their like baseline DNA. It's in there, isn't it? But it was fun, the early days of TV, because I was invited to the writer's room. So we would create a lot of those characters and bits.
Really?
So that was really
in Popworld.
amazing. Yeah, I loved it. I still haven't done a show that I love as much, to be honest.
It seems very ripe for kind of configuring,
Well, they do like nowadays, all TV is a bit like that, because my great theory is that a lot of the British TV producers end up in LA, and that's what made all those talk shows there so fun, like Fallon and James Corden and Carpool Karaoke. And Hot Ones is based on Popworld, not my Popworld, but Simon Amstel's one. But yeah.
I love Hot Ones.
It's great, isn't it? But they created it based on a thing that we used to do called The Big Ones, which was one of the segments. And Yeah.
I see. Yeah, because you've been on Hot Ones.
I went on that. Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
Gosh.
And it was so fun to do. I loved it. But he's an incredible journalist as well, because actually the research is so amazing, and he's so casual in his delivery, but what he gets out of people is amazing.
Yeah, it's endlessly interesting. It's really good. I don't know how you cope though with the level of, explosion of chili. I can barely have like the tiniest things. You were really cool on yours.
Well, I didn't really. I just didn't. I think it was the advantage of being quite naive to what was going on. But now, obviously, if I went on now, I'd understand. So I'd probably be more scared. But I didn't realise that we were going to take it up that far.
Yeah. It's very clever because it sort of deals with the mind and the body.
Yeah.
So he's like coming at you from both places.
It's perfect. It's really smart in that way.
Yeah. Because you talked about your early fashion being inspired by band girls and Anita Pallenberg and Patti Smith. And I wondered which women have inspired your writing.
Well, Joan Didion I love, but she's a lot more serious. But I mean, the way she tracks a scene is incredible and immerses herself. And I guess those kind of postcards from LA are incredible. I think I'm a Nora Ephron girly. Or Fran Lebowitz, yeah.
What about Patti Smith's writing?
I love Patti Smith, but yeah, I don't know.
It's almost like so good, it's impossible to imagine how to write like her.
Exactly. I think hers really comes from the heart and is much like her poetry and her music. It's kind of got a rhythm to it. My writing is, I have to delete so much because it's so wordy and it gets so like GCSE or A-level, it's quite like minim. But I love a turn of phrase and I love wordplay and I'm always trying to seed it with in-jokes or signals or something, like I love the idea that it's got code in it or Easter eggs.
I suppose the best bit of advice I ever got was get it down on the page and then, of course, you can shape it. And
that's amazing because I definitely don't. You mean like just try and get the outline?
Yeah, or just write anything because that moment where you're hesitating, thinking, oh, that sounds a bit sort of bad and then nothing, you don't write something. Like there's this technique they use in schools when my son was at primary school.
Yeah.
They had this thing called Fred Talk, which was writing as phonetically. So fruit, but it was to disinhibit them from getting it wrong. So fruit, I found a shopping list where it was FROOT.
But that's so funny.
Just incredible.
That's how I write to Tom in texts quite often.
So sweet.
That's really funny because I just think it's really funny.
Yeah.
That's a good tip because I really do become obsessed with a turn of phrase or like whittling down something. I just like when something's, I'll be drawn to an elegant phrase or something that just sounds so poetic and it becomes too flowery and it's like really annoying. Whereas some of my favourite writers, and I'm obsessed with The New Yorker, and I loved your profile in The New Yorker as well. And I read it all the time and I just am so impressed when someone is really concise.
Yeah.
They had this article once and it was about the building or the refurbing an organ. I can't remember the best sentences in it now, but I was like underlining them like, wow, God, I love this article. Yeah, there was one about Jane as well, actually, in The New Yorker. Did you read that one? It was about the problem. It was Jane Birkin and her problem of beauty.
Oh, no.
And it was about how she was an it girl, obviously, the it girl, but how she, as a young woman, had tried to commit suicide and was also really into poetry and was an artist in her own right. But her magnetism and the quality that was indefinable about her also dangerously made her an it girl. And from that made it seem, they said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing, but like having this magical capacity to hint at being able to do a lot of different things that were kind of mystical is also dangerously close to doing nothing or not being able to do anything. And yeah, it was so interesting because I was like thinking about how she aged and what she chose to do, and it is a trap, isn't it? It's almost like she was, not that she, I'm not saying she felt like that, but everyone was so obsessed with her at a particular moment or something, and her relationship to Serge. And it's like...
I know, because in the end, the it girl was determined by other people, and she was an actress and a very creative person, and yet everyone wanted to keep her as this kind of fantasy figure.
Yeah.
And she was so beautiful and so kind of captivating and endearing and talented that...
But just as beguiling older as well. I interviewed her.
Did you?
Yeah, I interviewed her at the V&A. She was amazing. And I remember we were sat backstage waiting, and I just didn't know what to do with her because I loved her so much. I was like, oh, God, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to say.
Because she was quite matter-of-fact.
Well, she was incredible because she wasn't very well at the time. And she was kind of, quite, she was quite like, not curmudgeonly is the wrong word, because she was so generous and amazing, but she was also quite
brusque,
uncomfortable because she was unwell.
Yeah.
But she said, what do you want me to talk about? And I was like, well, it's about your book. I'm here to interview you. But her friend had done this amazing book on her. She was like, I presume you want to know about Serge. And I was like, well, yes, obviously, because he's incredible. Actually, no, it's not that. It's... this is this big thing about muses as well, I think about. Like, he is interesting for sure, but he caught on fire when he met her, It's like...
Yeah.
She's the key to his magnetism in my mind, at least. Obviously, he's an incredible artist, and his creative output, like, eclipsed everything and was definitely existing before she turned up. But, like, their relationship and that thing that everyone's obsessed with, it comes from her as much as him.
Yeah, completely. I know that I had this... I made this jumper which you wore.
Love.
Which with the Je t'aime Jane on the front. But that came about because I'd made a jumper that said Ginsberg is God.
It's God, yeah.
And then I got a message from Jane Birkin's agent saying, Jane loves your Gainsbourg is God jumper. And I thought, what am I going to do? I can't just say everyone's so God. So I kind of went into myself and thought, what is my feeling about Jane? And then I thought back, when I was at school, we had these wooden desks and we used to carve in like messages. I remember I'd carved in Get Up, Stand Up, I'd just discovered Bob Marley. And I thought, okay, this is Je t'aime Jane, and then the Jane was done in a different type of script, and it was, etched into my heart, into this desk. And then I put Serge on the arm.
Yes.
And Gainsbourg is God on the back.
Really good.
And then I sold a few of these jumpers, and then you wore it. And one day someone rang my doorbell and said, I'm from Argentina. I need this jumper. I could have just... And then I got a message. I tried to send some to her, and I got a message on my answer machine back in those days saying, oh, thank you so much for the Jane, but I can't possibly wear it. But maybe my daughters could wear it. But no, of course they couldn't wear Je t'aime Jane.
Oh, my God.
It was like kind of... this sort of poetic story of her complete and utter disinterest in herself as,
She really didn't seem to know that she'd really taken Tumblr by storm. And I said, I love you. And she went, yeah, no, I know. She's like, duh. There's me with my fringe and I was like, I really like you.
That's so good. That's brilliant. Yeah. I love that. And do you find there's certain clothes that make you feel better when you're
I'm
feeling
having such
low?
a deja vu right now.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Wow, how weird. You hear this colour. It's all...
Like,
We've done it before and we'll do it again.
So are there certain clothes that make you feel better when you're feeling low?
No, I really believe in, we, as a friendship group, we joke it's called total image commitment. You know, I love the idea that, this is why I love that Nick Cave wears his suits all the time. You know, I like, you know, I'd hate to bump into Nick Cave and he have on not that, you know?
Suit made by me.
Suit made by you, yeah. So if I'm feeling low, though, there's not really an outfit that can... I'm quite level with my vibe, actually, I'd say.
Do you get low?
I think there's a minor chord that's going throughout me all the time. That's what I mean about the melancholy or the nostalgia is always there.
Yeah.
But it's not fluctuating with dips.
Oh, that's good.
But I love Ugg boots to feel cozy. But I kind of refuse to wear a bad outfit. So even in the house, I'm not like, my friend said to me, I imagine when you get home, you're not really wearing your comfy clothes. You actually just wear jeans slightly larger. It's the same jeans, you just got them one size up.
Who's this friend from Wales?
Yeah, from Matt, from Wales, yeah.
That's a good accent. And you name-checked Mrs. P in your ELLE Style Award acceptance
Oh yeah, the ELLE
speech.
wasn't that great? That was good fun.
It was so wonderful.
Yeah.
And what is it about Miuccia Prada? She's like the great oracle of fashion.
Yeah.
And how has she directed you when you've walked for her?
Oh, well, it's interesting you should say that because I walked for her, the last time I walked for her, which was I've only done it twice, but I was like, you know, over the moon. You don't understand how much I love Prada and Miu Miu. It's really, I love her. I think she's something about what she's up to is the same way I think on some level. I don't know. I love that it's well, I think she's also in on the joke, you know. I think she plays with, her clothes, I think she understands the male gaze and refuses to interact with it, or sometimes deliberately courts it, but on her own terms. And I find that really interesting. And also that it's cinematic. She takes cues from cinema. Obviously, she's really involved in that scene, but it's almost like she's creating characters, and the clothes have a full backstory. They're not just clothes. She's really imagining, so many different women. I'm imagining this. I don't know if this is true. Then there's also the proportion and how she plays with it, and that there's humour in it. You know, I just went to that Miu Miu show and it was aprons, and it's this kind of bastion of domesticity that then it's reworked in like a kind of coquettish, sexy thing. Not in a like, obviously French maid and aprons, that's a whole other trope. But it's almost like she almost had it was like a kitchen sink drama or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost as if everyone was wearing marigolds. You know, it was totally sexless to the point that it became kinky again.
Yes.
It like double bounced. So everything's really, I think, provocative, I find, in her designs. But when I walked for her, I was so excited, and I walked up the steps, and you're all in a line waiting to go out, and your heart's racing. I mean, it's so thrilling and scary. And she was by the monitor, and I thought she was looking at the monitor of all the models, and actually she was watching Formula One.
Oh my God, really?
I just love her. She's so fucking cool. She's the coolest.
That's extraordinary, isn't it?
I mean, she was checking the monitor as well, but she was also, you know, she's just really cool.
How did she want you to move then when you walked it out, or did she not?
It wasn't her directly that said. I think they just don't really remember what the direction was, but I certainly remember seeing images of it later and being like, oh no, because here's the thing. When you're young, you look a certain way. So I suppose I associated runway modeling with like being when I was younger, and you could just walk out and it was fine. And now I have all this experience and my resting face is actually so much more traumatized by life. And I, not that it's necessarily sad, but my eyes in these images just look so woebegone. And I was talking to someone recently about it and she said, oh yeah, that's the aha moment. And I said, what do you mean? She said, when you're a young woman and then life comes at you and you experience all these things and then you have this moment of realization about how unfair everything is and you just go, aha! And suddenly you've got sight more because of your face hangs in like, what the fuck way?
Yeah.
And I have what the fuck eyes now, I guess. And so now if I'm invited to walk on a catwalk ever, I think I would remember to think thoughts in my head and not go blank and expect that the face can do the talking, because actually blank me just looks like terribly sad me.
Do you think it's showing more?
Yeah, the mask is slipping.
It's interesting, though, that idea, and I know exactly what you're talking about, of composing bits of, like composing your eyeballs so that they don't kind of pop out. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I remember seeing a photograph of myself at something I was incredibly happy, ecstatic, something I'd organised, and my eyes looked like they were just, I thought, I've got to control them.
Were they on stalks?
They were just too they were too much.
Keen.
They were taking over in a way that didn't really represent me. So I quite like the idea that you can sort of message bits of yourself and,
But I think you can, because then I walked for Chloe. I love Shemena, and that was so cool to do. And in that one, I was like, God, what do I do? Like, I just don't know how to do it without looking either sad or angry. And so, my boyfriend was like, I think you should just try and look like you've just had really good sex, or try and look like you're kind of, you don't necessarily need to be there.
How do you mean?
Rather than looking like, I've got to do this job really well.
Right, yeah.
Embody the character of the Chloe woman, who's someone that's quite relaxed and it's a bit too cool to be there and sort of...
Yeah, it's beautiful what she does. I loved the last show. I mean, I've liked everything she's done so far.
Yeah, the last show is amazing.
It was incredibly good.
I loved that sort of 50s, 80s thing.
It's got so much radical freedom. It was really good. And is there a random garment that a man wears that you find incredibly attractive?
Attractive. I do love a suit, particularly a husband's suit.
What's
that brand Husbands?
Oh, yes.
In France?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so nice.
Vinud wears Husbands.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He told me about it, actually.
I bought a jacket there because I was like, I want to wear it.
Yeah. Really good tweed.
So I love that.
Yeah.
Or it's a fine line, isn't it? Because I think when dudes are too trendy, it's almost a bit vain or something. I don't really necessarily love the idea of them shopping for things. It sort of seems undignified or something. I don't know.
Because if you fancy someone and don't like something they're wearing, does it kill your attraction?
No, because I've definitely gone out with people that I don't think have the best style, but I just think... I mean, I really love a brain. I've tried different versions of this with boyfriends, but you just have to be... I really need to connect mentally. It's just about the brain. So then, as I've got older, if that comes in a different look, I don't really care. do I think all my friends would be like, yes, you do. You switch out the jumpers, you liar. I'm quite good at updating a wardrobe as well.
Yeah.
I will say. I'm quite good at doing a, what's it called? Makeover.
Oh, yes, I bet.
A subtle and slow, terrifying makeover.
But I suppose it's the trendy thing that's always the enemy, because there's too much kind of, who's it? Someone told me trousers that are tight around the calf.
Oh, yeah, no, not that. Mine's, you know, sorry if anyone's got them on. I come in peace. But those little ankle socks that are hidden within a shoe. Do you know, like a sport?
Yes.
Oh.
You and Stefano Pilati.
Oh, does he hate them?
And somebody else as well.
Oh, they're horrific.
Yeah.
Can't bear that. I would say, like, yeah. I'm not huge on tracksuit bottoms, but I think that might be, I think I personally look bad in them. So then I don't love them. I just like, I quite like a suit.
A suit is really totally disarming, isn't it? It's amazing. And what's the best compliment someone has ever paid you, or you've ever received? I always remember when I was 21, I think, I went to lunch with my father, and he took me to this very elegant man's house. And there was an ancient old queen there. And he said, "Oh, you look like a Manet." And I thought,
you look like a what?
A Manet.
Manet.
Paint. And I thought, I've never forgotten that. That was the best
so cool.
highlight moment of my life. And it's an interesting question.
Do you know what? I don't really get that many compliments, I don't think.
Really?
I mean, you've been very generous to me today, but people certainly don't tell me they like my outfit ever.
Really?
Yeah, like literally never. I don't know. I think if someone said I was funny or clever, I'd love that. But
what does your boyfriend say to you?
Oh, he's very complimentary. His good compliment is even just, I trust you implicitly, or as in, I said, should we do this or that just now? And he said, I don't know, follow your gut because your instinct's always right. And I trust your instincts.
Yeah. I suppose a good compliment is being seen, isn't it? And so someone who sees that and then tells you, and it's kind of thrilling.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's exactly right. I've definitely, it's so amazing to be with someone who sees me. Yeah.
Well, I must have paid you low, because every time I see you,
I can remember your compliments, because honestly, they're quite rare that I get them. And
it's so strange.
Once, I remember seeing you in New York, and you said something like it was seeing an animal in the wild or something, and I was like, oh, I was so flattered.
I remember that moment. I was in New York, and I was with this friend, Hugo Guinness, and he went, and I spotted you and thought, God, who's she? She looks amazing. And he said, oh, it's that fashion girl. And then I remembered, and then I accosted you. Oh. And I think you had like a patent leather jacket or coat, or you had legs. You had the best legs, I always remember. And then I remember bumping into you outside the In-N-Out Club, and you were wearing this incredible outfit. And even the other day when we went to Miu
Tales, yeah.
And you were wearing this amazing dress with a cutout. Oh, but I can't help. I always am thrilled by a great look, and I kind of never hold back.
Well, I go around telling everyone that I love, if someone's got something on that I love, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Where's it from? I'm always like doing a stock take in my head. I have to know where things are from and catalogue them. It's weird.
Maybe because you're sort of famous for dressing well and having this great look, people think, oh, I better not say anything. She must be bored. And
well, maybe, because actually if I go to the countryside or somewhere, then they are more complimentary. They're like, oh, I like your boots. And I'm like, oh, thanks. But yeah, no, otherwise in London, everyone's keeping stum.
And you had lots of things named after you, like the Mulberry bag. And And then there's the Siri Alexa, which
yeah, it was named after me.
it must be about. I mean,
Just
every
must be.
time I ask Alexa anything, I always think I'm asking you.
Oh, that's
I'm
nice.
sure it's not nearly as forthcoming as you are, but
Kids love that one. They find it hilarious that I'm called Alexa.
But I bet there is a connection, because your name, you know,
It was quite timely, wasn't it? Something. I don't think so. I think what didn't they say it was because everyone can say it or something?
yeah,
But I think that's really weird, because all my life before that, everyone called me Alexia or Alexis, or it wasn't really a name people could get right. But now they can. So that's good. I remember as a kid being like, oh, I wish people could just say my name correctly.
Gosh, really?
But it's a real careful what you wish for situation.
Do you enjoy having things named after you? How's that with your conflict about?
It's hard to unpick it all at this point because it's just been so long. But definitely the bag was a great compliment, because I loved Mulberry. And
It was great.
It was one of the first bags I bought. Was I saved up to get the Bayswater with my modelling jobs. I was like a fit model for French Connection.
Oh, wow.
Which was really interesting. I loved it,
Yeah,
actually. It was
yeah.
so fun. But
It's such a talent being a fit model, actually.
fit model's a really weird job. Yeah, you have to stay really still, and then they fit the clothes to you too. But I bought this Bayswater bag at Harrods, and I loved it. And
What
then
was a Bayswater bag?
Bayswater was like the classic one. It was just one flap, quite simple, with handles. They're really heavy though, and I wanted it for my modelling book to put it in there, because in the olden days, guys, you used to have to carry around a portfolio. And yeah, it was great. And then I started carrying their men's briefcase, the Elkington. And then Emma Hill, who worked there at the time, was inspired by that and made the Alexa. But I didn't design it, she designed it. And then people thought that I'd made it, and it became this big thing, and it wasn't really to do with me at all. But they certainly benefited from it. So that was nice.
Yeah. Well, for me, you're Alexa whenever I ask the phone anything, but
Do you have to say the name and then she answers?
I think so. I hardly ever use it. I'm always worried if I
Set
ask
it off.
No, I just worry if I don't think, then I'll stop thinking. So I rarely ask for any.
I did sleep with something. I don't know if you want to cut this one out, but it's funny. I slept with someone once and they went, Alexa, turn off the lights. And I went to get out. No, I know the...
That's really funny.
I was like, fuck, sorry. Oh, my God.
God, that's so hilarious.
Yeah.
And you recently took photographs for 10 magazine Germany, and
Yeah.
they're very much your world, but you don't bounce people away in the photos, and they allow people to look at your work without any commentary, and they're really good. I really like your photographs.
Thank you.
Is it relaxing to be in control of the looks you're creating from this position?
I really loved doing that shoot. And I was photographing a couple of friends of mine, Ida and Odda, and
Gosh.
they're both amazing artists. And it was just really fun. It felt like playing for a day. And they were really game, and they're really good at knowing what they look good in, and Veronica was styling it. But I just love capturing beauty, basically. And it's the same with my friends. Like, if someone's looking a certain way or there's a certain light on them, I'm like, oh, wait, stay there, stay there. I'd always forget to bring my proper camera these days, but I just really like making people, or capturing people at their most gorgeous. It's fun.
Is that something that you plan to do more of?
Maybe, yeah. I loved learning more about how much other stuff Diane Keaton was doing. So obviously she's just passed away, which was so sad, but I didn't realise that she did so much collage, or that she loved interior design, or that she made books. I didn't even know that. I think I'll always take pictures. And so far it's just been for myself. But if people are interested in seeing them, then that's fun to share too.
Yeah.
But I do like, I think so much of my life is public, not in a famous-y way, but in a like, you know, a lot of my work is front of house, as it were. It's also nice to have something that's just for me as well.
They're very intimate, and that's a real quality, I think. That's what I love about any kind of photography, is that you feel drawn in and that you see
invited to the party.
Yeah, or you just see something that someone allows you to, and you definitely, when I saw on your Instagram, thought, God, these are great. This is
thank
so
you so
good.
much. I love it. I was also quite scared. It made me realise how scared other people must be sometimes. Like, I've turned up for shoots, and I've been shooting since I was so young that sometimes I have a lot to say about the lighting or something, and I thought, God, how horrible of me, because maybe they were terrified. I don't know. It's scary to go in and think, God, I really want to do a good job, and have I captured them in the right way? And I want everyone to feel comfortable as well. So I shared a lot of the images with Oda and Ida as well, to make sure that they liked themselves in the pictures. Because there were other ones that I maybe preferred, but as someone that's photographed, I wanted to make sure they felt as beautiful as possible in them. Well, not even beautiful. Beautiful is so the wrong word. I wanted them to recognize themselves in the image, and be seen. It's that thing again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember years ago I shot with Karl Lagerfeld for his Little Black Jacket book, and he was the photographer. And I got to the shoot, and Poppy was there, and she was done up as a ballerina, and Daphne was there, and she obviously just looked incredible, and I think she was a DJ in her shoot. And Kirsten Dunst, God, that name, hard for the English,
isn't it?
Kirsten Dunst. She was maybe a princess or something.
Yeah.
And I turned up, and he was like, I want to put a moustache on you. And Peter Phillips was doing the makeup, and he was drawing on a moustache, because he was like, I see you as a regal boy.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. Anyway, so then I had to be like, I don't love the moustache. Do you mind if I just don't have it? And so I had a crown, because I was to be princely, handsome and princely. And I got to the set, and he took a picture. He went, tsk, and then I went, wait, sorry, is that it? And he went, come with me. And I went to the monitor and went, this is a picture of you. Is it you? And I went, yeah. And he went, do you look like you? And I went, yeah. And he went, then this is it.
God, that's really good, isn't
was
it?
like, okay.
Yeah. And you had the moustache still.
Do you know what? He was right. I do look like me in the picture.
Yeah.
And I love the picture, actually. It's cool.
Well, thank you so much, Alexa, for being on Fashion Neurosis, and
thanks for having me.
Some of your numerous
Bella, your voice
layers.
is so relaxing that I'm surprised people haven't taken a nap. It's so nice. Thanks.
You've certainly kept me on my toes, which is what I needed.
Pick me up.
Yeah.
Do I roll off now? How do you dismount?